Today I'm breaking down Natural Dog, a pet supplements and nutrition brand, and we're going to look through all of their funnel here, from the educational pages to the sales pages, bundle builders, collection, and product pages. They're running a pretty solid strategy here for all of their traffic they're sending from their creatives to their store. I think there's just a few things I would personally split test or optimize here in all of their funnels and all of their pages, and I'm going to mention those going through the funnel here. But for starters, this strategy is pretty solid, and they're also split testing, which for their size is essential. If you're running a brand that's over at least 600 to 700k a year in revenue, you should be split testing. First link in the description. You can book a call with me and work with my team. We've implemented split testing strategies for 7 and 8 figure brands. But let's start here from the educational pages. So the first thing I want to mention is actually here on the educational side. They have only one educational lander they're sending traffic to right now, and this the first thing I wanted to mention, which is on the educational side that I think they're not doing enough, and I think they should probably split test more pages and send traffic to more educational style pages, because with this niche specifically they work extremely well. But right now the only page they're sending traffic to is this lander right here, which we're going to look at after we look at this listicle. This listicle they're not sending traffic to right now. I found this through their sitemap just to have another example to break down in their funnel. The layout is something not common with listicles. So as you can see, they're starting out not mentioning the listicles itself in the above the fold. Usually with the listicle, you have the headline mentioning the 5 reasons or the 6 reasons or 7 reasons or whatever that may be, and then going immediately through the common listicle structure we've seen with other brands here. You can go look at my listicles video on the channel. I'm going to leave the card top right here on YouTube. You can go look at that. For listicles, they're not running the common listicle strategy. They have a lot of things going on here besides the listicle. The listicle itself, the structure is pretty good. So if they run just a blank page with the headline and image mentioning here, for example, starting like this by itself, starting from the white section here are 5 reasons why it's the best way to keep your dog healthy, happy, and thriving, and then just running through this and having a call to action here at the end with another headline would work extremely well as a listicle. But they have a bunch of other stuff here going on the page. Second, they have all of their default header on the store going on right here with all of the call to actions, with all of the other things, so people can click off. They actually cannot go through the listicle itself and read what's in here, which is the most important thing on educational pages. So that's the second thing I'll probably split test here. So the other actual educational page they're sending traffic to is this one right here. I have a few things with this page that they're not convincing me as far as layout goes, as far as copy goes, as far as like what is the goal for this page. I think they're missing out on a few things. So starting off, they have again, for these styles of landers, especially for educational pages, so listicles, advertorials, and stuff like this, you probably are better off not having your default header and all of these call to actions here, which are going to be distracting to the traffic, especially if it's cold traffic. So the above the fold, as you can see, is not immediately super catchy. They have 2 headlines going on here. So there's a headline on the top here, then there is another headline, then there's kind of a USP bullet point here, kind of mentioning the pain and problems this mechanism solves and this product solves, and then you have a call to action here pretty quickly on an educational style page, which is not something you see usually with these styles of landers here. There is a little bit of a wall of text effect going on here. As you can see, a lot of text just bundled together, which is another thing you have to pay attention to on an educational style lander. Then they immediately go through and have some reviews here, which is something you can have obviously on educational pages. The structure and the layout for this educational lander just feels a little bit off. Then there's one call to action here at the top, and then there's no call to actions until here at the bottom. There's nothing mentioned about offers, nothing like that. So the structure is a little bit off on this lander right here. It's not something you see usually on these types of pages. Generally, they are made a certain way and the layout is a certain way because it just works the best for how us humans are wired to buy things and to read about things and to inform ourselves of new things we want to buy in this case. So I think this lander can benefit from some type of optimization or split testing here. Then we can go through their sales pages. So they have 3 sales pages going on here. It's actually the same template. So they came up with a template once, or probably they've tested a few different templates until they found one that worked for one of their products, and they duplicated it for some of their products here. So I have 3 examples here, one for their hip and joint product, one for their skin and cold product, and one for their salmon oil product. And they're using the same template, just with different copy and with different style. They're probably also split testing something on these sales pages, because as you can see, the layout is a little bit different above the fold. So here they don't have any call to action in an announcement bar at the top. Here they have a bar, a header at the top with their logo, and here they have the same header bar at the top with their logo and also with another call call to action here. So there's probably some split testing going on here on these pages, but these sales pages are probably my favorite part of all of their funnel. These pages are pretty good. The headlines, how they're structuring the page, the layout, how like they're showcasing the product, which is obviously this sales page. So here we are going to focus on selling a specific offer and think our offering and our product and our mechanism from the competition, and they're doing a pretty good job with that on these sales pages. We're going to go to the hip and joint one just to have a specific example. Then here's pretty good. Give your dog the pain-free life of the reserve with these miracle shoes. They have the social proof here at the top. They're mentioning the offer immediately, the 30% off and a money back guarantee with the special offer today. So they're prompting you to catch the offer today. They have good visuals going on here with the product and a dog. They have the call to action mentioning the offer, more authority and social proof here immediately above the fold. Then they're mentioning the problem statement. So is your dog slowing down? A sign they're secretly suffering. So they're introducing you to the problem very quickly so that you can diagnose it in your own dog. Then how natural dog hip and joint shoes can turn back time. So they're introducing immediately their solution statement. Obviously on sales pages, you're focusing on the offer, you're focusing on selling and differentiating. So you're going through education at a faster speed than what you would do on an educational page. So you're introducing immediately their solution statement, product facts, how the mechanism works to the specific ingredients they have in their solutions. Then they go immediately through with some reviews here from customers. Then they have the buy box section. The only thing I would split test on this page is probably this section right here. So they have a selector here for the different sizes they can get based on the weight of your dog. I think this can probably be pulled off a little bit better, this section here for the buy box. It will probably work a little bit better with a different layout for conversions. I think the select here for how you can convey, how well you can convey the difference between sizes in dogs, something like Woofs, for example, is doing on their product pages, could be done a little bit a better job here on the buy box too for conversion, but the layout is fairly good. They have the image carousel here with a lot of optimized images, so that's also pretty good, mentioning a lot of the benefits, the features, ingredients, comparisons, social proof, and all of those things in the image carousel. A pretty good thing. Then they have another section here with managing expectations. So they are mentioning the headline, seeing real results in as little as 3 weeks. So a pretty good layout here for a sales page. I also have a training on how to build a sales page. I've built one live in 31 minutes on a video in my channel. I'll leave it in the top right card here. You can go check that out if you want to build a sales page by following my layout. But then we're going to look and go through the bundle builder. So here we are on the bundle builder, and here we are actually on the main store. So this page is on the main store itself. They're running some traffic to this page right here for the bundle builder. Their bundle builder is pretty good. So as you can see here, they have all the specifications for all of the products they have here. They have the filtering, so you can find immediately what you need or what you want to bundle in your box. So for example, if you're going to add, let's add a few things here and see how it works. The interactivity is pretty good. As you can see, there's the kind of menu here on the left mentioning the items that you have. You can remove them pretty quickly. The pricing displayed very clearly, how much you're saving. The call to action is pretty good. You can also change if you have variants. This page here for the bundle builder itself is structured pretty well, and they have, this is also a pretty good one I want to mention here. They have a progress bar for kind of have your how much can you unlock in savings through all of your bundles. So right now we are on 15%, and the progress bar makes you immediately understand if you add more products you're going to reach a higher discount. So let's add a few more products here. Okay, only one works, and then just by adding one other product we reach the max discounts, and you understand it's very visual. That's why visual things work super well. You understand immediately what you need to do to get to the higher level. As you can see here, added another products and unlocked the 20% off on the bundle. So this bundle builder here, so far I think it's perfect. And selectors, very interactive. There's a very good layout going on. The offer is clearly explained. You have a discount the more you add. So I think this page here is pretty good. It's done pretty well. Then we have the collection page, and there's a few things I want to mention here. So starting immediately from the basics. So we have the collection page here, and their filtering here is one of the things I want to mention, which is very good. They have very good filtering here. As you can see, very interactive, very quick. You can click immediately on the categories here, and it loads immediately. Here's the one thing I want to mention here. They have both the separation between categories and concern, which is also pretty good. The filtering here is perfect. I think there's not a lot you could do here to make this filtering better. It works pretty well. Maybe you can test a few different ways of filtering the product. So here they have by categories, by concerns. You can also maybe filter by weight, filter by other things that apply to dogs, and try to make it more personal to your dog and specific as possible. Also mentioning offers here will be a pretty good thing, and that's the first inconsistency I want to mention here. So if you go, for example, you are on the supplements category here to all of their products on the collection page, and here at the top they have a call to action mentioning they have a quiz funnel. So let's open and see what they're doing here. So this is a quiz I found only through their collection page, and not just only through the collection page, but only on the collection and with the filtering supplement. So if you go through all of the other filtering points here, as you can see, there is no mention of a quiz going on. There is no mention of a quiz you can take to find the products immediately. So that's the first inconsistency I want to mention. Second, they could probably use that quiz page as a standalone funnel itself, just like, for example, Woofs is doing, which is a pretty good funnel, especially for this niche right here and for pet brands, which are very personalizable, very customizable. You can ask a lot of questions that are personal to your specific pet and your specific situation. So it's a pretty good funnel to run for these types of brands. But also there's another inconsistency going on here with an offer they're running. So if I click on superfood granules, as you can see, there's some kind of split testing they're doing on their collection pages, which is obviously differentiating between all of those. So they have an offer running here on a gift, kind of a gift bundle they have, which is like if you buy the salmon oil, then you get 50% off of these superfood granules and stuff like that. And if you buy a balm, you get 50% off on fish oils and supplements and all of these things. But this offer I've only seen mentioned right here. So this offer is not mentioned anywhere else. You can only look at this offer if you are on the actual superfood granules page, which they're not running any traffic to. So it's pretty easy to miss in this situation. And even if you go, for example, on the Wild Alaskan Salmon Oil page, so we're going to go to that page and actually see if we can find it. If you go to this page here, you see that their offer is not mentioned here on the page of the product which you're actually supposed to add to get the offer. So you're going to miss the offer if you're not going to go on that specific collection filtering. You're going to miss the offer. There's no kind of banner, there is nothing else mentioning the offer or calling out the offer here on the page. There's a few inconsistencies I wanted to call out on the collection page here that I think should be addressed, and just making the store and the funnels more contextually consistent, so you have all of the information you need at every step of the funnel, especially discounts and especially offers, which are so important for prospects and for traffic. Just having a little bit more consistency with information throughout all of the funnel, I think would help with conversions here. Then at the end of the funnel, we have their product pages. So I have a few examples open here because they're running a few different product pages styles here. They're probably split testing them. As I've mentioned, they're already split testing, and if you are at any considerable revenue size on a yearly basis, so from 600-700k up a year in revenue, you should start split testing too. It's very important when you start ramping up and getting more size, so into the 7 and 8 figures, you need to be doing it, because the opportunity cost and the losses you get from not actively split testing are hurting your ability to scale. So you need to be split testing if you're at that size. But here we are on their product page. As you can see, they're running a few split tests here. There's a few different layouts they're using here. They're going for a default kind of normal image carousel. Here on this PDPs, they're going for more like expanded layouts. So they're laying out all of the images here. You see them immediately without having to click on the carousel itself. So good on that for the split testing. As far as the actual layout go for the PDP, I think this layout here is perfect. It's one of the ones we've tested the most, and it works super well. Very simple. They have the social proof at the top with the review count, the headline immediately, price laid out clearly, a few USPs here, as you can see from these two pages. USPs laid out clearly and immediately. There's no rows of text, there's no space wasted with a lot of information above the fold. We want to focus on action, and here they do exactly that. They go immediately into the buy box. We have the one-time purchase, we have the subscribe and save. The USPs for the subscribe and save are always visible, so the customers are enticed to go for it. The offer is laid out clearly, the price are laid out clearly, the discount is laid out clearly. Then they're mentioning a few guarantees immediately near the call to action. I think this above the fold has everything it needs to perform extremely well. The one thing I mentioned before with the collection still stands. So obviously, if there's offers related to specific products, you need to mention that on your product page, and that obviously would help a lot with just conversion rate and people taking up on the offer. They have guarantees here, which is good. The only thing they're probably missing here is trying to form bundles or collection. I know they're already sending traffic to the bundle builders, but having cross-sells and up-sells on the product page works very well. If the products synergize well together, they work extremely well. So probably testing something like that would also help. But then as far as the rest of the page goes, they're doing a pretty good job here with education. They already have the images for that. The carousel is optimized for that, so that's good. But they have more information here in accordions, probably a little bit of text going on here, but it's fine if you're doing it in an accordion style. What I would probably do here is, instead of having it all crammed here in accordions. As you can see, their product page is not that long, so they have the above the fold, they have a section with frequently asked questions, and they go immediately into the reviews. So there's not a lot more going on here. What I would probably do is, instead of having all of this information in the accordions test, having this information not just thrown out as all of this text, but thrown out as visuals under the fold with sections dedicated specifically to some of the things here. So for example, one section dedicated specifically to this, one section dedicated specifically to the application, how you need to use the product itself, one section dedicated to the ingredients, specifically mentioning like every single ingredient, what it does and things like that, and just having visual sections with not too much text thrown in them. As I mentioned, using mostly visuals to explain all of these things would probably be a good test to run here to see if it performs better with traffic that reaches the product page. Pretty solid strategy from Natural Dog here. If someone from the brand is watching, me and my team would be happy to test and implement an advertorial for you. If you're an e-commerce brand, we've implemented our testing strategy for multiple 7- and 8-figure brands. We can do the same for you and unlock so much revenue, more conversions, higher AOV, and better profit margins to allow you to scale easier and faster. You can book a call with me in the first link in the description, and you'll get also a free roadmap on the first call. If you end up working together, and if you're not a fit, you can implement that for yourself. So it's a win-win for both. You can also get my 60+ page e-commerce optimization guide in the second link in the description by inputting your email and getting on my mail list. You'll also receive weekly insights on CRO and tests we run for other clients of ours. See you in the next video.